Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I am giving you guys our review of the farming and food unit from Gather Round Homeschool. I remembered to include books this time, you guys. So if you watched my flip through, I believe it was the flip through. I showed you guys the books. It could have been a separate video. I don't remember. I'll try and remember to put them in the description for you. But I showed you guys the books that we used for this unit as well. So I have those kind of in piles here, and I will give you just a quick little show and review of those also. But we are going to talk about the farming and food unit. As I always do, I got the pros and cons from my daughter. And so I'm going to share those with you guys first, and I'll kind of talk through my thoughts as we go through hers, and then a couple things afterwards. And then I will go through kind of our review of the book. Things that she liked with this one, she said there was less writing in this one. I don't know about that. I mean, I guess maybe skimming through here, it looks like maybe there's less writing, but I don't feel like it's significantly less. I feel like maybe she's just starting to get a little bit more comfortable and confident. But nonetheless, she said she felt like there was less writing in this one. She liked all of the experiments and the videos included in this one. There was a lot of really fun videos and lots of things that she was familiar with because we have a couple of animals, we have a garden, things like that. So there were a lot of things that she has been exposed to that she could kind of connect and relate to. So she really liked that. She liked learning about different types of farms. So it wasn't just animals. Like, we were learning about flower farms and bee farms and all kinds of different things. So she really enjoyed that. The one thing that she said she did not like was the note-taking section. So part of the notebooking pages in this unit, she had to listen to a specific paragraph in the book, which I will say was very nice, that in the teacher's guide, let me see if I can find one. There was like a little stop sign, and it would say, you know, this is the section where your students need to be listening because this is what's going to correlate with the notes here. With the notes that they're going to be taking in their actual notebooks. Here, so you see the little stop sign, and so you would read this paragraph, and this is where they really have to listen because they're taking notes. And so in the early reader, in her section, it was very simple. It was like circle words or phrases that you hear that are important to that section, and they were pretty easy to figure out. Some of the words would be like completely unrelated, so it was, you know, pretty easy to figure out which ones you needed to select. She said she didn't like that because she had to listen. So there's that. But that was her only negative. She said her favorite farms to learn about were the legume farms because she loves green beans, and the pigs and the sheep. And she would give this unit 5 out of 5 stars. I liked this unit, okay? I felt like I was paraphrasing quite a bit in the teacher's guide because I felt like maybe this one had a lot of writing. I don't know if it actually does, you know, or if maybe it just kind of felt that way because one lesson was one farm type, and so it kind of didn't give enough time to expound upon, you know, the ins and outs of each kind of farm. And so maybe it was a little bit of a longer writing, just trying to get some of those basics in. So I did find myself paraphrasing, which was fine. It was pretty easy to do, and obviously we still learned a lot it's kind of nice because when we go back and we, do this one in a couple years from now, or, whenever we come back to it, there will be new information that we have not read before. So yeah, that part was not necessarily my favorite. I really loved the color coding with the Intro to Psychology. That's the only unit that we've done that's had that. And by far, I think that is one of the best improvements that Gather Round has had. Intro to Psychology is from this current year, where Farming and Food is from last year. So if you know anything about Gather Round, they have constantly kind of moved things and transitioned and tried new things based off of feedback and all that kind of stuff. And so that's where the color coding teacher's guide came in. And yeah, that really was a great thing. I do think that eventually, I hope that eventually all of the teacher's guides will include that, because I think that would be really wonderful. But yeah, like I said, that was not like a make it or break it kind of thing. It just, we just got kind of a little spoiled there a couple of units ago when we did Intro to Psychology. What else? I did like the hot button topics. So here you can see hot button, and this is an entire section here. Some of them we read through, some of them we did not. Quite honestly, it wasn't for any reason other than some days I felt like reading it and some days I didn't. I am not one that I feel I have to shy away from every hot button topic. I definitely feel there's, it has to be appropriate for my daughter's age and, that kind of stuff, but I don't have any issue having a conversation about things. So yeah, it just really came down to whether or not I felt like having the extra conversation. But I do appreciate that there are things in here that are hot button topics, and it's very open. It's very much, here is the information, or here are the different sides of this opinion, or the pros and cons of these types of practices, or kind of whatever it is that's relevant to whatever it is that you're reading. And then it's just, what do you think? How do you feel? How does this affect you? And so it really leaves it open for discussion, which I think is really great. Like, it presents the argument or the opinions or, whatever it is, and then it's left up to the family to either research more or discuss or kind of whatever you want to do. And I appreciate that. And from what I remember, I think there's a hot button topic in just about every lesson. So some examples are GMO and non-GMO. There was one with poultry farms, which was one that was really good for us because we have chickens, and talking about caged birds versus free range versus pasture raised, just kind of the differences between those. Why do you think one may be better than the other? Just different things like that. And so, yeah, I really appreciated that. I, as mom/teacher, liked the note-taking section because she had to listen. And that was really great. I try and make it fun and make it engaging for her. But like I said, this one just seemed kind of long. And so I, was paraphrasing. I would read funny some days. Some days she would be begging me to read things in like a funny accent. And I'm like, girl, I don't have the energy today. Things like that. But overall, I really liked this one. I think it was great doing this, coming off of Living Off the Land too. They don't correlate like you would think maybe they do. Kind of, like, obviously you can find correlation there. Farming and Food absolutely is more of the commercial farming of things, animals, plants, flowers, all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, it's really cool to see where your food comes from, how do we get the food, what kind of machinery is used in order to plant and harvest the food. Lots of really cool stuff. One thing we learned as well is that, and this is something that I have worked really hard on, and I have tried, I've put effort into trying to make sure our food comes from our local area, local farmers. We try and eat things that are in season, things like that. And so going through this and doing some of the workbook pages and our food log and all that kind of stuff, most of our food comes within our local area. And so it was just really cool. I mean, I kind of know that, but it was just cool for my daughter. Like, she had to make a plate of food, you know, like draw a plate of food of, like, you know, she just picked some of her favorites. And then going further into that was now look at the labels or the ingredients and things and figure out where those items came from. I don't even remember. It was like pork chops, green beans, corn on the cob. It was like a couple of different things. And her entire plate of food was from local farms. So I was really excited about that. To her, she's like, oh, well, that's cool. But then she didn't have anything extra to color on her map because everything was in one spot. But yeah, I did really like that. I thought that was really cool. And I think that's it. I did want to talk to you guys about seat work. So I did something I'm getting sideways here. Remember how I did this? I put the recitation on the back. So I was like, oh, that'll be such a great idea. We'll be able to we didn't do it one time. Not one time. We didn't do recitation once. I think maybe day one, lesson one, I read it. And I think that was it. So yeah, I mean, I'd like to use them more, and I'd like to actually, be able to recite them, but we didn't, and it is what it is, and we're moving on. But the seat work, we also pick and choose. I have stressed myself over trying to get all of the pieces done, and that just doesn't work for us. That's just not the way that it goes. And so my main focus at this point at her age is working on the spelling and working on her handwriting while we're working on spelling. And I can do a whole video on how we use seat work. If you guys want that, I can kind of break it down for you. Just let me know in the comments if that's something you're interested in. And then now let's move on to books for this unit. We kind of separated these out between like least favorite to most favorite, sort of. And this is all my daughter. I just asked her, put these, where do these go for you? How do you feel about them? So she only had 2 in her least favorite pile. That is A Weed is a Flower, which kind of makes me a little sad because I thought this was a great book. Actually, both of these kind of made me a little sad. I thought it was great. I asked her why. She's just like, just compared to the other ones, it just wasn't her favorite. So anyway, so A Weed is a Flower. And then her other least favorite of them was the first, Strawberries. She's like, it just wasn't my favorite out of all of the options. We also have read this book like so many times, so she probably is just over it. So those 2. Her middle, like, I liked these books, but they weren't my most favorite pile. Tomatoes for Neela. This one was really cute. Liked that one a lot. Diana's White House Garden. I like this too. Never knew about this story, so this was really cool for me to read and learn about. I didn't know anything about Diana and her garden. So that one was good. Preaching to the Chickens. This is about John Lewis. She really liked this one too, because like I said, we have chickens, and So yeah, this one was fun. She liked that. Of course, she liked the farm picture puzzle book. This is from Usborne. This is not like a reading book. This is just like, can you find the, whatever, the key? How many foxes are there? All that kind of stuff. That one kept her entertained. And then of course, we have The Farm That Feeds Us. You guys have seen this book so many times from us. We have read several pages out of here. It's great. I am excited to put it up on the shelf for a little while because we have had it out for a long time. So it'll be nice, put it up, take a break from it, but this is a really, really great resource. There is so much in here. It's a really big book. You're not gonna read it all in one sitting. Fantastic. And then her most favorite of all of the books, her most favorites were Muddy Paws, Day at the Farm. Y'all, she probably read this book like 20 times. I don't even know. This is one of those books that they just read over and over and over and over. And this one, I don't even think she has to read the words on it anymore. I think she just has memorized this book. She's been reading this book for a long time. We got this from like a friend or something a couple of years ago. Anyways, it's this cute little Muddy Paws. It's this cute little dog, and he goes missing on the farm, and his friends have to find him, and it's cute. It's cute. Another one is How Did That Get in My Lunchbox? This was a brand new one for us. This one was cool. Basically, it's just, there's that. Here's my lunchbox. How did this food get in here? And then it's like, here is the bread, and this is how your bread is made. And so it goes through the process. This was fantastic for farming and food because, again, it's the commercialized process of where your food comes from, what it looks like. This one was just really cool. So we liked that one a lot. Oh, sorry. This one, We Are the Gardeners. Honestly, I was surprised that she said this was one of her favorites. I mean, I like it. It's a good, it's cute, cute little book. I just was surprised it was one of her favorites because we really only read it like maybe once or twice. Generally, if it's falls into the favorite category, we're reading it like multiple times. Like, I don't want to read it anymore so many times. But this one is good, of course. Right this very minute. This one was cute too. So this one was similar to the How Did That Get in My Lunchbox? These were very, very similar, but a little bit different. This one to me was a little simpler, more variety. That's what I'm looking for. It seemed like there was a little bit more variety in this one versus the lunchbox one, but still very, very good, very similar. I think either one of these would be great options. I can't say one would be better than the other. It's like I said, they're very similar. But yep. And then her most favorite was No Small Potatoes. This was a good one. She said this was her absolute most favorite because she likes potatoes. She likes French fries and mashed potatoes and scalloped potatoes, and she just likes all the potatoes. So that's why this one was her favorite. This is Junius Groves. Those were our books. So overall, this was a really, really fun unit. We liked this one. I am glad to be switching it up. I'm glad to be getting out of the food. It was good. It's been fun. I'm glad to be moving past that. We're going to be doing something completely different with Australia and Oceania. We've not done a continent yet. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to just completely different. You know what I mean? We've done lots of science. We've done lots of science with animals and food and plants and bugs and like all that kind of stuff. And that's all been really great. But let's change it up. Let's do something completely different. And so I'm looking forward to that. I've got some fun stuff planned for us with Australia that I will have videos on coming out soon. Like I said with the seat work, if you guys want to know exactly how we incorporate seat work, feel free to let me know, and I can get one of those out for you. But I think that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.